Rock climbing is a sport in which participants climb up, down, or across natural rock formations or artificial rock walls. That's the dictionary definition. But what is rock climbing? What does it encompass? Why rock climb in the first place? Who can do it? And where can it be done? This video is meant to be an introduction to the sport of rock climbing and how it can affect you. There are three major types of climbing: bouldering, top rope, and lead climbing. Bouldering is a shorter version of climbing, where participants typically climb an average of 15 feet off the ground. This type of climbing requires no harness or rope, allowing for motions and movements in a horizontal plane more so than its counterparts. When outdoors, and in most indoor gyms, a spotter would be appropriate to have when bouldering. A spotter's job is to correct the boulderer's lower body during a fall to prevent head, neck, or back injury. Since it is typically a shorter climb, with fewer movements to completion, bouldering has a higher physical requirement than top rope climbing. Top rope climbing uses both harnesses and a rope to climb walls typically 25 to 40 feet high. The rope is anchored at some point on the wall and will mark the upper limit of the climb. Because of this, any falls during top rope climbing is typically fairly short. Since the climbs are longer, there's more of an endurance component to top rope climbing. When outdoors, and in most indoor gyms, top rope climbing will require a belayer, a person who's responsible for tightening the rope and catching the climber. Though, it should be noted that there are some gyms out there with auto belay systems that allow a participant to climb alone. Lead climbing combines aspects of bouldering and top rope climbing. There are two subsets of lead climbing. One is traditional or trad climbing, and the other is sport climbing. Both subsets involve a climber attaching a rope directly to their harness, and then bouldering up until they reach the first anchor point. Once there, the climber will clip their rope into that anchor point, and then it's the belayer's job to both give and take slack in the rope. That way the climber can move past the anchor point and reach the next one to clip in and do it over again. Falls during lead climbing are a lot more gratuitous than that of top rope. All three types of climbing are available both in an indoor and outdoor environment, but their availability is largely determined by location. For instance, there are indoor gyms that specialize only in bouldering, while there are some parks that only allow lead climbing. Always do research before arriving at your destination to make sure that you're prepared for what is allowed. It should be stated that all forms of climbing are inherently dangerous. However, there are rules and regulations and certifications that are in place to help reduce the risk in this activity. Now that we have a base of knowledge to build on, we can talk about the benefits of climbing and how climbing affects certain aspects of wellness. Climbing can increase the strength of muscles in your hands, arms, shoulders, legs, hips, core, and back. It really is a full body workout, and your body learns to move with synergy. A common misconception about climbing is that you need to have a strong upper body. Actually, climbing is more powered by the legs and guided by the hands. It is possible to climb some things only using your arms. However, a major key factor to climbing is to do it in a way where your legs gain a mechanical advantage. Otherwise, your arms will fatigue quickly, and you won't be climbing for very long. Climbing takes much more than just brawn. When you climb, there are usually some sort of pathway on the wall, either loosely or clearly defined. These are called routes or problems, and they can be considered movement puzzles. Figuring out the solution to difficult routes or problems takes time, and it's very dependent on the wall itself, the types of holds, your personal body type, your personal climbing style, and other such factors. When I mentioned that climbing was a full body workout, the brain was included. The intellectual aspect of climbing is as important as the muscles used to complement it. Most types of climbing require 2 or more participants. Bouldering involves at least one spotter, maybe more, and climbing involves at least one belayer, and could involve a lot of climbers. These activities really stress the importance of communication, not only for risk management, but for developing healthy relationships between climbing partners. Even in gyms or locations that allow bouldering without spotters or auto belay systems, there's a social aspect that can be found when multiple solo climbers congregate. You can share information about a route, give tips and tricks about a technique, swap stories about past climbs, give encouragement, or just share in the celebration after a hard climb. As with any community, rock climbing is a great way to network. It can be an easy way to build new friendships or strengthen old ones. Climbing is a great activity for children and adolescents. With proper guidance and education, kids can become strong, disciplined climbers. They are not impervious to injuries, however, which is why mentorships and education from a trained coach can help the kids recognize risky situations and how to avoid and rectify them. Climbing should be considered a lifelong sport. It's highly adaptable, and thus can be as hard or as easy as you want it to be. Because climbing itself is a low-impact sport and can increase bone mineral density in the arms and legs and can challenge balance, it's an excellent option for those that consider themselves, quote, too old to climb, end quote. Climbing can be adapted to allow individuals with disabilities to climb. Adaptive equipment can be used to allow individuals with paraplegia or multiple sclerosis to use their upper body to scale the wall, with the use, or without the use, of side climbers to help place their lower limbs on the wall. Individuals with prostheses can easily use or adapt their equipment to help them climb. Individuals with visual impairments can also climb with good communication from their belayer. It is likely that, no matter what, there is a way to adapt climbing to fit the needs of the climber so that they can be successful. So the bottom line is that almost everyone has the potential to rock climb. It all depends on the resources that are available to the climber. So, with that in mind, the last question. First and foremost, the easiest way to learn about climbing is to take a class. Some high schools and colleges offer courses on climbing. There are also outdoor adventure companies that may partner with state parks and have guides or courses on climbing themselves. And of course, there are local indoor climbing gyms who will likely offer classes for climbing. In the info section below this video, there will be some links to some websites that will help you locate a gym in your area. It is possible that a school or a local gym will have youth climbing programs, ranging from summer camps to competitive climbing teams. Some locations may host meetings for certain interest groups, such as the Adaptive Climbing Club, or a Women Climbers Club. Or it's possible that there may be occasional workshops or climbing competitions. Be sure to ask your local gym for more information. And finally, the best way to get better at climbing is to go climb. Locations can offer day passes or full memberships. Once again, find a local gym for more information and details. I hope this video was informative and helped open the door to the world of climbing. Now go out there and send it.